back to another class of geography. We are in our third chapter and the name of this chapter is water bodies. In water bodies, we are particularly dealing with oceans and seas. So let's have a recap or rewind of what we have learned in our earlier class. In our last class, we understood the meaning of hydrosphere. What is hydrosphere? It is the part of the Earth's surface occupied by water bodies. We call that as hydrosphere. And in that, we came across the differentiation between rivers, lakes, oceans and the seas. And in the last part, we concluded with the difference between the seas, gulfs and the bay. So, in general, we have understood a brief about the hydrosphere or the oceans. So, after knowing the surface of the oceans, the next point or the next concept we have to deal with is the ocean life, the life beneath the ocean water. So the topic we are taking up for today is ocean life. We all know on the surface of the earth we inhabit, we live, human beings, along with us, many of the living creatures live. So we are very familiar with the living or we are very familiar with the living things on the surface of the earth. But that is not there in case of the ocean life. We don't have much knowledge about the ocean life beneath the water. Why? Because we generally don't come across the oceans. Hardly. If a person is interested in swimming, he may swim in rivers at the most. To swim in an ocean, that expertise is required. So we don't know much about the life beneath the ocean. So here we'll try to understand, do any living creatures exist, or if the living creatures or the living things exist beneath the water, what kind of creatures are they? How these creatures are surviving beneath the water? Because on the surface of the earth we know that sun provides us the energy. Whether it is for the human beings or the plant life, sun is the main source of energy. And with particularly to the plant life, with the help of the sun's energy and along with the carbon dioxide, they carry on the process of photosynthesis, and in that way they prepare food for themselves. But what about the living creatures inside beneath the water? How do they prepare the food for themselves? What is the source of food for them? What is the source of energy for them? See, even beneath the water, even under the water, living things, living creatures exist in plenty. From a single atom, from a single one-celled animal to a large whale, life exists. From a single atom, that is from a single cell animal to a large whale, life exists. We know numerous kinds of fish exist in the ocean and the seas. If living things or living creatures are existing, then what is the source for them? Again, the source for these are the sun. Like on the surface of the earth, how sun is the source of energy for us, even for them beneath the water, underneath the water, the source for all these creatures is the sun. With the help of the rays of the sun or the sun's energy, the process of food formation or the process of food preparation is being carried out. So let's understand the temperature conditions of the underneath water. So what to do for that? Let's see. If I consider this as a water, let's take this part as a ocean. And here on the horizontal line I am writing the temperature of the ocean water. Here I am writing the temperature of the ocean water, and it starts from 0 degree. Let's take up in the 4, 8, 12. Okay. So 4 degree, 12, wait. 4 degree, 8, 12, 16, 20 and 24. This is the, on the horizontal line, I am writing the temperature of the ocean water. And on this vertical line, I am writing the depth of the ocean water, starting with 100. Here on this part, on the vertical line, I am writing the depth of the ocean water. As said, starting with 100 meters. We are writing it in meters. So 100, 200, 200, 300. Next, I'll directly go to 500, 1000, 2000. These are the depth of the ocean water. 4000 till 5000. I am taking the depth of the ocean water till 5000 meters. Now, till 1000 meters, we consider this part as the upper water part. Till 1000 meters, I am talking of below the ocean water, and we are dealing with the interior of the ocean, and we are dealing with the temperature conditions of the water in the ocean. So this 1000 till 1000 meters depth, it is considered as the upper water, and till 200, and it is only till 200 meters below the water that sun's energy reach. It is only till 200 meters that sun rays penetrate. If sun rays penetrate only till 200 meters, then only this layer, only this part receives the rays of the sun. Only this part of the ocean receives the rays of the sun. That means temperature of the upper layer of this part of the ocean water is higher. Now let's see the temperature. See, on the surface water, the temperature of the water is 20 degree. On the surface water, the temperature of the water is 20 degree. As and when the depth of the water increases, see how the temperature drops. This is how the temperature of the ocean water drops. This is the depth of water. On the surface of the water, the temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. But see, as the depth increases, depth of the water is increasing. See how the temperature is dropping. See, at 5000 meters, the temperature is dropping. So that means what we can say here, only the upper layer of the water, only the upper layer of the ocean water receives the rays of the sun, and because of that reason, this part of the water has higher temperature. I am using the term, this part of the ocean water has higher temperature compared to the other part, compared to the increasing depth of the water. Increasing depth of the water is extremely cold. It is a very cold water condition. As the depth increases, temperature decreases. So as I said, if if this layer of the water has temperature, that means in this layer the life exists. In this layer, life exists. That is, the upper layer of the water has the life, the living creatures, because this layer is receiving the rays of the sun. With the help of the rays of the sun or the sun's energy, food can be prepared. This is the reason why in this part we have the life in the ocean. What do you mean by life? And the life in the ocean mainly consists of plankton. The life inside the ocean mainly consists of plankton. Plankton. What is the meaning of this term now? Plankton. The floating and drifting microplants and animals, we call it as plankton. I'm repeating, I'm writing here. What do we mean by plankton? The floating and drifting. The floating and drifting micro, small, minute plants and animals, we call it as plankton. And where do we find this plankton? We find this plankton in this upper layer of the water, because the upper layer of the water is warm, the temperature is high as it receives the rays of the sun. So here in this part we find this plankton. Plankton is floating. They are the floating animal, floating and drifting microplants. See here, the important term here is plants. Even the plants which we find inside the water or underneath the water, they are floating and drifting. But compare it on the land surface. On the land surface, the plants don't float, don't drift. They are stable because they are rooted to the ground surface. Here, the plants and animals are not rooted to the ocean surface. They drift, they float. That is the major feature when we talk about the plankton. Further, this plankton is subdivided into, it is subdivided into two types. What are those? First one is phytoplankton. The first type is phytoplankton and the next is zooplankton. Phyto, what do we mean by phyto here? Plant life. Plant life is called as phytoplankton. What do we mean by zooplankton here? Animal life. Animals. Small animals, microorganisms. We call it as zooplankton. Again, this phytoplankton, these plants have chlorophyll. These plants have chlorophyll. Because they have the chlorophyll in them, with the help of the rays of the sun, these plants prepare food. These plants prepare food for themselves, and in turn these plants become food for some other organism. Best example of phytoplankton is algae. Algae is the best example. The green color patches. And another one is diatom. These are the phytoplanktons. These have chlorophyll in them. Because they have chlorophyll, the process of food formation goes on. Then what about this zooplankton? These are the small microorganisms, small creatures inside the earth. inside the ocean water. Example can be given of the fishes. Fishes range from small to a larger one. And among the zooplankton, it is the whale which is the biggest animal. Among the zooplankton, it is the whale which is the largest ocean animal. It is a ocean animal, and whale is also a mammal. So in this way the ocean life exists, and the phytoplankton we find in this layer, in the upper layers of the water. Why in the upper layers of the water? It is because of the temperature condition, because the upper layers of the water are warm. When water are warm, that means process of food formation can be carried out. And here, as the depth increases, the rays of the sun do not penetrate. They don't penetrate till this depth of the water. Because the rays of the sun do not penetrate over here, this larger surface of the ocean water is colder. The most part of the ocean water is colder, and here it is only in this part that life exists in the ocean. And here what we can conclude, or what we can say is, this part is extremely important for the ocean life. It is in this part 90% of the ocean life exists, and they are mainly in the form of the plankton. So now let's understand why oceans are important to us. We have understood that even in ocean the life exists, from phytoplankton, that is from microorganism, to a large mammal called blue whale. If ocean is having this much of the diversity, then what is the importance of ocean for us? For us, in the sense, what is the importance of ocean for the human beings, as well as the importance of ocean for the atmosphere or the earth's surface at large? The first importance of ocean is, they are the source of food. Yes, the oceans are a lot, what to say, they are the great source of food for the people around the world. Oceans provide us with food. Like on the land surface or on the surface of the earth, what is the source of food for us? Maybe cereals, or grains, cereals, vegetables. These are the sources of food for us. But along with this, people living around the coastal countries, people living around the coastal areas, for them the main source of food is fish. If you remember, while studying the life in the Ganga Brahmaputra basin, I said that for the people of the West Bengal, along with rice, fish is the staple food. Remember, for the people of the West Bengal, along with the rice, fish is the staple food. Why? Why? Because West Bengal is a coastal state. Bordering West Bengal, the state of West Bengal, you have the Bay of Bengal region. It is an ocean region. Obviously, we can find fish in that area. So this was the example of West Bengal. When we take a larger example of the coastal countries and the coastal states. See, while studying the oceans, while introducing the oceans, we came across Atlantic Ocean, North Atlantic and the South Atlantic. See here, come to page number 41. Come to page number 41. See, the North Atlantic region is bordered by countries. On the one hand, it has European countries, and on the other side, that is on the eastern side, or on the western part, it has North American states. So, this was just an example. The people bordering the oceans, for them, the great source or the main source of food is fish. And as we know, the oceans occupy two-thirds surface of the earth's surface. Obviously, the fish are the great source of food for the people all along the coastal countries. What kind of fishes we do find in the, do we find variety of fishes? Yes, ocean has variety of fishes. And in each country, a special delicacy or special kind of fish is found. Example of the fishes is mackerel. It is a kind of a fish. Tuna. These are the kinds of fishes. Salmon, etc. These are the kinds of fishes we find around the countries. This is about the first importance. Then the second importance of the ocean is the oceans provide us with minerals. Abundant mineral resources found in the oceans. Not only minerals, oceans are also the source of oil and natural gas for us. Oceans are also the source of oil and natural gas. See, even on the land surface, we find minerals like iron, copper, zinc, gold. These are some of the minerals which we find on the land surface. In the same manner, even underneath the water or even in the ocean waters, we find minerals like zinc. See the kind of minerals which can find. Zinc we find also on the earth surface, on the land surface. Zinc, gold, see diamond, manganese ore. Manganese ore is one of the important minerals which we can find in the oceans, ocean waters. See the diversity of the minerals which we can find in the ocean. So the minerals are not restricted only to the land surface. Even in the ocean waters, we can find plenty of the mineral resources. Not only the mineral resources, but it is an important source of oil and natural gas. Oils like petroleum, diesel, and based on this oil, dependent on this oil is the economy which is running. Every country needs the oil. Every country needs the natural resources. Why oil? Why? Because for running of the transport vehicles, our vehicular population is dependent on the oil. Our economy is dependent on the oil. We need natural gas. We need oil. Where are we going to find this? Major source of the oil and natural gas we can find in the oceans. From where do these come? From fossil fuels. Oil is also called as a fossil fuel. The next importance. The next importance is the oceans helps to keep the climate stable by storing heat from the sun. They also help in maintaining a stable climate because ocean waters absorb the rays of the sun. They absorb the rays of the sun. They store the thermal, what to say? They absorb the rays of the sun. Because of that, many weather phenomena happens. So that is one of the importance. Phytoplankton and algae create much of the word oxygen. The next importance is we have already studied what do we mean by phytoplankton. Phytoplankton. and algae. These are the living creatures in ocean waters. So, as I said, both of these organisms have chlorophyll. So, they utilize the carbon dioxide and leave oxygen. And these are the great source of oxygen, not only for the animal life, not only for the life inside the ocean, but also on the outside the ocean. The next importance is of ocean currents. Ocean currents have a great role in stabilizing the climate of an area. They can make the climate or weather of an area cold or hot. Depends on what kind of ocean current is it. Before that, what do we mean by ocean current? Is this ocean current somewhere related to the electric current, or this ocean current entirely different? What is current then? What do we mean by ocean currents? Ocean currents are nothing but what is current is movement of ocean water in a definite direction. We call it as ocean current. What is ocean current? Ocean current is, what is the meaning of ocean current? It is the movement of ocean water. We all know that ocean water is not stationary. Ocean water moves from warm tropical areas to the colder regions. Water moves from colder regions to the warm areas. So, water moves. They are not stationary. They cannot stay at a single place. They move from place to place. So, movement of ocean water, movement, it is the movement of ocean water. Yes, we know ocean water moves, but what is important here is it moves in a particular direction. This is very important. It moves in a particular direction. This is the key term, moving in a particular direction. Water is moving, but if the water is moving in a particular direction, we call it as ocean currents. And ocean currents are of two types. They are cold ocean currents and warm ocean currents. What are these cold and warm ocean currents? See, warm ocean currents are those ocean currents which originate near the equator or near the Tropic of Cancer or Tropic of Capricorn. These ocean currents originate around these areas, mainly in the equatorial and the tropical region. And these water move from warm areas to the cold areas. That means when these warm waters move to the colder areas, or when they move to the freezing areas where temperature is in freezing, they make the temperature of that region moderate. People can get rid of the freezing temperature. In the same way, these cold ocean currents originate in the colder areas near the Arctic Circle. We saw in our map, Arctic Ocean region. That region we call it as Arctic Circle. So these cold ocean currents originate in the higher latitudinal areas, in the colder regions, and these ocean waters move from colder areas to the warmer tropical regions. So what do they do? The temperature near the tropical regions will be usually high. So when these ocean currents pass, they make the weather of that region a bit colder. People can get relief from the scorching heat. That is the role played by these ocean currents. So, this was all about the importance of the ocean. Oceans are required. Oceans are a great source of food for us. Not only the source of food, they also provide us with various kinds of mineral resources like zinc, gold, diamond. They stabilize the climatic conditions of a region, and in particular, ocean currents play a greater role in moderating the climatic conditions of any region through which they flow. So this was all about the importance of the ocean. We have reached the last part of our class, and it is a homework time. So I have given you two questions for today's homework as today's homework. The first question is, explain and brief about the ocean life. In this question, you have to write about the ocean life. That is, in short, what do we mean by phytoplankton, zooplankton, what kind of animal or what kind of creatures do we find in the ocean. All these things you have to explain in this question, in this answer. The next question is, explain the importance of the oceans. Just now we concluded that part. Importance of oceans to the man, to the environment, to the atmosphere, everything, right? All the points included in this answer. So we will meet in our next class with the next topic. Thank you.